Alrighty, so you probably recognize that tune. That's Julia Delaney's, and that's one that a lot of people know. It's a really great tune. We've got this lovely pentatonic scale. It's beautiful. But it is kind of repetitive, and so it's really calling out for some ornamentation. So I wanted to talk about a couple different ornaments that I like to put in this tune, and then also really get into some of the bowing details of how to make those happen. So first I'll just walk through like what I would call the skeleton bowing, kind of that really stable bowing pattern that you know what direction you're going, and then you can add in these ornaments and you'll always end up kind of going back to this bowing pattern. You kind of want to think for reals about a bar of 4 beats having 8/8 notes. And the general kind of rule of thumb, now of course, you know, there's so many ways to bow these, but to give you some kind of sense of grounding and knowing where you are within the beat, the general rule of thumb is that you're going to be down bow on the beats and then up bow on the upbeats. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's going to be kind of where we come back to, and then we can slur within that. And you're always going to end up slurring, almost always. In the pattern I'm going to show you, we're almost always going to end up slurring between a beat and a half. So it's going to be a quarter note usually, and then the note right before it, which is an 8th note. Okay, so that's the basic slurring pattern. So we've got this down, up, down. And then here we've got the first long note coming up. So the first long note is going to be on an F natural. That's our quarter note. So we want to be down, up, down, and then slur into the long note. Okay, that's going to really help us out in terms of just really being confident within the bowing pattern and playing on the beat and having something that's really reliable, that you can also improvise within and add these things to once this pattern's comfortable. So I'll walk through the whole pattern now. It's pretty much the same thing. So okay, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. So we've got 2 quarter notes and we're going to slur into both of those. Here, here. And then I also like adding a slur near the end. And it ends up being on that E, F, E. I just find that really gets into the swing of things really nicely. But the bowing pattern works with or without that last slur. The reason why is because we're slurring over 3/8 notes, and so that ends up getting us back to down bow on the beat, okay, if you're counting in 4. That is pretty much the bowing pattern I follow the whole time, even when I'm adding fancy things. I'll do it one more time and shout out the slurs. Slur, slur, slur. And then when I come back into it, we're actually coming from the pickup, so we'll slur over those first notes as well. Okay? Those are all separated. Down, up, down, up. And you can do them all separated. And I actually recommend maybe starting there, and then you'll find that sometimes it feels so clunky to have all of those down, up, down, ups that you have to add in a slur. It just feels more comfortable. So I'll figure out where I like to add it. So we're in the second half of the A part. Here. I do it there. That's a nice place to put it, and you can slide into it. Okay, so again, those slurs that slur over 3/8 notes are optional. If you have them in or you have them out, the bowing pattern will still be the same. But I tend to, if I do a million down up down ups in a row, it sounds really choppy and not as swingy. So I like to add those in. So here's what I would do for the A part without any ornaments. I'm ready down bow for the downbeat of the B part. Okay? So once you've got that bowing pattern pretty comfortable, it really is calling out for some ornaments. And I like to add ornaments into those kind of longer spaces. There's just time for it, right? So if we're coming down here, okay, without changing the bowing pattern, we can just add some left-hand ornaments. So really nice, not too hard to add. That's a little triplet in there. And you can kind of make those as, you can make them really kind of quick and almost 16th notes, or you can kind of make them more really triplety. And so you can play with that right away without changing anything on the bowing side. However, sometimes it's nice to change some things on the bowing side, and we can articulate the triplet with our right hand as well. So my left hand, the right hand's still doing. All that's happening there is I'm adding in the third finger and cutting that F with a G. Okay, so however, it sounds really cool if you also do the triplet here, and that's a little bit trickier. And the bowing pattern for that does have a slur in it, and it's a down bow slur. So I said we're always going to slur up bow except for this pattern. So down, up, down, down, up, down. One more time. So that's the first ornament we're going to add. And again. And again. Okay. And now you could add that anywhere you have that long quarter note. So we could do it here again. That one's a little trickier because that down bow slur happens over string crossing as well, but it's totally doable. And again. Down, up, down. One more time. Okay, here it is with both of those. It's a little, it might be kind of too much to add both of them, but it's a good thing to practice. Ready, and... and again. Just do the first ornament. Ready, go. And again. Just the second ornament. Go. And again. Okay, so you can add those in both those places. You can do it smoothly without articulating, or you can do it with articulating. And really, each one of those sounds so different and so cool, and you can really just have fun with the same phrase for forever almost. Okay.